What up, what up, what up? Josh Barker here. Today I want to talk about relating with your kids or connecting with your kids. Little backstory. I have 4 kids that I have full custody of. It ranges from 10 all the way down to 4. So I got young kids. They look to me as their protector, as one to guide them through life, someone to instill principles in them, someone to teach them bad from wrong or good to bad. And I love being a dad. Love being a dad. Recently been divorced. It hasn't been a year yet. Been separated for a while. I was separated for 2 years before we even had it finalized. Something I've always taken pride in was being a dad, being a good dad, because there's oftentimes there's a lot of shitty dads out there. And for as long as I can remember, I've always wanted kids. Always wanted kids when I was younger. Always wanted a lot of kids. I always wanted a big family. I have 2 boys, 2 girls. My oldest, my youngest are boys. The 2 middle are girls. First 2 are about 14 months apart. And I love them. They're all amazing kids. Of course, we're going to say that about each other's kids, our own kids, but they're genuinely good kids. Something that I struggle with, and that I think the kids struggle with as well, was obviously a divorce. It was hard on everyone. And especially, obviously, my older ones. My oldest son's a lot like me, but also a lot like her. And this video's not to be trash talking anybody, so it's not what I'm gonna be doing. I want to focus on my kids and my issues with raising them and how I got through it and how I'm continuing to get through it. So, a lot of behavior difficulties, attitude difficulties. My oldest, not really defiant, but he tends to forget things a lot, has a lot of memory issues, and that's been a challenge. It's, whether it's not bringing your homework to school when you finished it, not bringing it home from school, so he's not able to do it. Forgetting, sports equipment at the park, or forgetting at home, or even just now where he forgot his Halloween costume at home, needs it for school, even though I just reminded him before bus picked him up to grab his stuff. He's that kid, you tell him, he's gonna forget it 30 seconds later. So you constantly gotta be on him all the time. It's frustrating, trying to keep my peace with it, trying not to lose my shit, but it's hard. He sides with her oftentimes because he likes the easy route. He likes things easy. He doesn't like to be challenged, and I keep him accountable. I don't allow him to be lazy. I'm not saying he's got to go all the time and we're always doing stuff, but I keep him accountable. I make sure he does what he's supposed to do. I make sure his homework's done every night. He's bathing every day. He's cleaning up his room, and it's not easy for him. He hates doing it, but I keep up on him because I know this instills discipline for later on in life, and I know that's important. Growing up, I didn't have a dad. My dad was barely around. I mean, we're not going to talk about that right now, but I'm just wanting a frame of reference on where I'm coming from. I know what it was like not having dad around, and that's why I swear I'd never be like that. I want to be here for my kids and for everything, especially when it comes to raising them. And we've struggled lately with the finalization of the divorce. I have them all the time, and it's been an adjustment. It's been getting better, but it's still an adjustment. Lately, what I found that's worked is taking him to the gym. He's 10 years old, so I'm not going hardcore with it. I started working out 11, 12 years old. I got my own weight set when I was 11 or 12, and I worked out all the time. My room is my source of get my aggression out. That was my outlet that I went to often. And I feel like he's got a lot of aggression to get out, so I wanted to help him out with that. I didn't have that father figure to help me out with what to work out, how to work out, what routines to have. It was something that I was always picking up in those Flex magazines you saw at the gas station. And that's how I taught myself. We didn't have the internet. I didn't have a mentor. I had those Flex magazines, bodybuilding magazines. Since I've been working out basically since 6th grade, I know a lot about working out. And that's something I know we can connect with. Something that him and I can connect with is going to the gym, is talking about fitness and health and getting the right mindset and discipline and doing stuff every single day, even though you don't feel like doing it. Those to me are important. More important than most things out there. He got sucked into video games at first, and that's a big reason was him going back and forth to her house, my house, till the finalization of the divorce. So it was 50-50 up to that point. A lot of video games. I didn't want to take it from him because of the situation they're in with the divorce and the confusion of what's going on, their lives being ripped apart. I didn't want to add to that stress. As soon as I got custody, I didn't rip the Band-Aid off quickly and just lay down the law and say this is how it's going to be. I didn't rule with an iron fist, but I gradually got into the parent mode of slowly putting that discipline into him. And now I'm starting to see the backlash of it, holding him more accountable than ever before. He's the oldest, but he also gets more things than the other kids. You know, sometimes he gets to stay up later. He goes out for more sports than the other kids, mainly because of the age difference. Not a lot of opportunities for the younger kids. But I allow him to do more things. Because he's the oldest, I put more responsibility on him. But he's acting out. You know, whether it's homework, there's times where he's told me that he'd rather live with his mom, and I know why. I know it's because he has an easier life with her. And I had to push through that. It wasn't easy to hear. I know where it's coming from, but I pushed through it for him. You know, I know he doesn't mean it, and I know he needs me. I know he does. But like I said, I found something that works for us that we can relate on. What you guys have to do is find the same thing that you can relate with. It's easy as a man, in my opinion, because we're supposed to instill masculinity in our sons. And that's something that comes easy for me. Going to the gym, working out, going out for sports, explain to them why sports are important, why working out's important, you know, learning team cohesion, learning what what it's like to be on a team and learning you got to depend on others at some point. Working out, you know, that's a given. The earlier you start, the easier it is in life. And I'm explaining this to him because I started at a young age, because I needed that outlet to let my frustration out, my aggression at a young age. I believe it set me up for success later on in life. If I were to take a couple weeks off of working out, even a couple months off from working out, going back into it after a couple months break, it's so much easier for me to get back in shape. If I start getting a little thick, that weight starts shedding off of me because my body's used to that. And it's used to that discipline. I don't go long without not working out because it's still my outlet for aggression. Having the issues that I have, PTSD, anxiety, depression, panic attacks, stuff like that, it's the best thing for me. And I'm trying to teach my kids, you can't just run from your problems. You face them head on. And the best way to do that is gaining the confidence from working out. To me, that's what working out does. It's not going there and just get big and buff and try to look intimidating and everything like that. It's you feel better when you go to the gym. When you're in better shape, you feel better. And you walk a little differently and you have more confidence. And I'm trying to teach him confidence at an early age. Something that I struggle with my whole life. And he is so much like me. But I know I can help him. For me, the gym's working with him to relate with. Sports is working. So you got to find something that works for you. And you got to find something that works for your kids. My girls, they're attached to my hip. Wherever I go, it's easy for me. Like, it's easy for me with the girls because they want to be where I'm at. They want to help me cook. And, you know, I suck at cooking. I'm still learning, man. That's the one thing that I struggled with in the marriage was cooking. And I'm still trying to learn it. But they want to help me cooking. And they want to go wherever I'm going. If I'm going to the store, they want to go. I try to let them tag along. The younger two kids, they just want to be on top of me all the time. You know, the boy and the girl, the youngest, they just want to sit in my lap all the time for watching TV, reading a book at night for homework, whatever it is. So I let them, no matter how much I'm struggling that day, how tired I am, I let them do those things because I know it's only a matter of time before it's just a memory, and I wish I spent more time doing it. But I let them do it because I know those are the things they're going to remember when they get older. I have 3-acre lot that we mow, and all of them have gone through the ages of helping me mow that yard. And they'll sit on my lap and want to steer it half the time. Half the time we're doing zigzags in the yard. But I let them do those things. And I know it's going to be one of those things they remember. The older two are too old to sit in my lap. The younger two are not. It's bittersweet, you know, watching them grow up. But I wish we had more time. And all I'm doing is create memories. That's all we're ever doing. We're creating memories. If that's how you look at things, then I think that's the best way to look at it. You know, if you look at it as these times are very limited, they don't last long, so just make memories. Every single day, think about the memories you're making with them. When you're frustrated and you're tired and you're irritable, instead of yelling at them or screaming or whatever, think about how it has an impact on them. Because this is what they're going to remember. And you don't want to create a childhood full of bad memories. Another thing, girls like making bracelets. That's why I'm wearing this. I don't normally wear this stuff, but my daughter made it, and I love it. I'll never take it off unless it breaks. It's probably broken about 10 times up to this point. I gave it to her. I'm like, it broke again. She fixes it and gives it back to me. And then, you know, the other daughter, she likes making me drawings. I love you, Daddy. You're the best dad. I love you more. All that stuff. She draws it, writes notes. I stick it on the fridge every time. So, I guess to wrap this up, find a way to connect with your kids. Because once they're too old, it's hard to get that time back. All you have is now. If it's something you don't like, suck it up and do it anyways. It just so happens I like working out. My son looks up to me and is always comparing me to other dads. And I guess one last story, wrapping this up. I was coaching soccer. I was a fill-in coach this past weekend or weekend before, and I was getting a little halftime talk, and the kids were struggling. I gave this awesome halftime talk, and it motivated them. And when I first started talking, no one knew who I was, because I'm just filling in. You know, we didn't have a coach. And my son stood up next to me, and he's like, "This is my dad." And that was such a proud moment for me. How many dads out there can say that? Another kid asked if I could be a bodyguard for the team. Thought that was pretty funny. But my son stood up next to me. He goes, "This is my dad." And he said it with pride. That's so rare nowadays. Kids don't take pride in their parents because the parents don't take pride in themselves. And that was one of those moments I knew I was going to remember forever. Had to share it. Hopefully it motivates you dads out there to make your sons proud of you, to hit the gym, to be there for every single game and every single practice. So, again, find something to connect with your kids with.